I used to write radio commercials in local markets. It's more fun and creative in a local market because you have to make so much sense. I used to tell people that I wrote about the world 30 seconds at a time. I'm not giving anybody a free plug. I write soft-core porn for women. I find that young men, in particular, will read my material and learn from it. Not that this is a how-to book or anything, it just talks about the events and the eventualities. The younger men are willing to see this as tuning in on something, whereas the older guys are all, what a sissy book this is, it must be written by a woman using a guy's, pseudonym. Too bad, guys, you missed the boat. By the way, I flunked English in 7th grade, so any of you younger people out there, just remember that. Women believe in it. They believe in the touch, the hot breath, the whispered word. Guys' idea of foreplay is, she's wet, I'm ready. And off they go. I don't know how many men in all of history have probably sacrificed some great relationships just because they couldn't wait. The idea is slow it down. And that's how I write my material. I do publish under a pen name, and that's because discretion is the better part of getting your commission checks. It works out that way. I had a young girlfriend that lived on the North Shore of Massachusetts, and I would hitchhike up there, and it was quite some distance. Now, in those days, at that time, and you'll be able to date things by this, you could actually hitchhike and make it to the end of your ride alive. I was occasionally hit on by men who thought I was out there, trolling. I have no idea. And I always changed the subject, reminded me of my art with words. So then I get to go see my girlfriend. Now, she and I were just at that point in teenage years where you're experimenting with reality. The touching, the feeling, the oh my God, that's what's under a bra, and elsewhere. And it's all discovery, it's all wonderful. But it's not intercourse. So that leaves the young fellow with a symptomatic blue ball. All right, that's fine. What do you do with it? Well, you think in your head, if I do something, I'll make it go away, I'll make it stop. Well, you're right, but where are you going to do that? The situation would be that I hitchhike home. I might get hit on, whatever the garbage was. It happened infrequently, but frequently enough so that I remember it, obviously. And I'd get to where my highway left off near my home. It was a huge wooded park. I did a bookmark. The park lent itself to activité au sylvan, activities in the woods. And because I was eroticized by the time I got there, and you couldn't see more than, say, 20 yards into the forest, it's all vines and greens and this and that, it was a great occasion to take off my clothes. And I began to realize that doing so left my skin free to the air and so forth. I'm not trying to, get too far with that description, but it alerted me to the slow rise of feeling and being naked in the woods and hoping to hell you didn't get caught. But having left my too young girlfriend without consummating any particular act, and not wanting to consummate any particular act while I was being driven south, I'd take care of it there. And that really sprang loose an entire thinking of the satisfaction delayed, the absolute eroticism of unusual location. And how that relates to the now is actually kind of interesting. Give me a moment, please. The now of it is that once I discovered my thrill with sex and sexuality, I discovered that girls like it too.